Welcome back, it's me, Lou. I'm here for another action figure unboxing and review, and today we are looking at Thanos, the Mad Titan from the Marvel Studios Avengers series of movies, more specifically Avengers Infinity War and Avengers Endgame. Alright, so to be honest, I don't know what this figure is. This is something that would always pop up on my Amazon searches. I bought this for around $22. It's clearly not a Hasbro product. It's not a Diamond Select product. And judging from the text on the back, it appears to be an Asian market import. But the big thing with me is I don't know if this is an officially licensed product, a third-party product, or if this is some sort of weird knockoff bootleg. If you look inside of the box, there's a hologram with the Disney logo. And traditionally with like some toy lines, for example, SH Figure Arts, Bandai's keen on putting the hologram sticker on the box so you know you're getting an authentic product. Likewise, the WWE, with a lot of their merchandise, they always have a hologram sticker on their products as well, so you know you're buying an officially licensed WWE product. Here, I don't know what this is. I'm not sure if this is some sort of weird, maybe like Disney Parks exclusive that's only available in Asia. But either way, it looked interesting enough online, and I decided to pull the trigger on it. This company, which I can't identify with their logo right here, also makes a couple of other Avengers Endgame figures. They make Smart Hulk. There's the Chris Hemsworth Thor with the shorter hair from Endgame. And I think there's an Iron Man and a War Machine. But I really wanted to go with Thanos just because I'm a big fan of the Mad Titan. And I really wanted to check this figure out to see how it fares next to a Marvel Legends. So the one thing you'll notice is that this is actually a smaller figure compared to the Marvel Legends Thanos. And we'll examine the height more closely once I take it out of the box. But speaking of the box, as you can see, very interesting design. The size of the box is kind of close to maybe like a much older Marvel Legends style box. The dimensions seem very similar. But the graphic design is completely unique. This is definitely different package design than the Hasbro stuff. Nice window. They have a very interesting die cut for the window here. Nice portrait of the profile of Thanos. And again, we have a nice illustration on the side. And on the back, the very familiar movie poster from Endgame. And like I said, I can't read this, so I don't know if this is from what market. I'm guessing maybe China, but I'm probably very wrong on that. All right, so let's take them out and get started. Very curious to see the quality of this product. There were a handful of reviews on Amazon, but the reviews were more so for the Thor action figure. There was one review for Thanos, but it was in Espanol, and my Espanol is not the greatest. And I could have easily just, I guess, used Google Translator, but I decided I was going to buy the figure anyways because it looked interesting. The sculpting looked pretty decent, and I don't know. A lot of I don't knows in this video. Alright, I'll say this. The figure is, if this is a third-party product or a bootleg, it's very well packaged. The tray is nice, and there's that hologram sticker I was talking about, the Disney one. So I don't know if this is an officially licensed product or if it's just a bootleg. It says Marvel Disney 20th Century Studio, so I don't know what's going on. Here's Thanos' double-ended blade. It feels like it's made of it's not necessarily a flexible plastic. This plastic's a little bit on the rigid side, so it feels like if you're not careful, it could snap. For example, if you've handled any of NECA's or McFarlane Toys accessories, sometimes they're made of that really rigid plastic that doesn't have any give. This kind of feels like it's along those lines. I feel like if I bent this too much, it would snap somewhere. But it's pretty nice. A nice, almost premium finish. I do appreciate the The sheen on the silver for the blades, and the detailing is really sharp and crisp. So for a possible third-party or bootleg product, it looks fantastic. And let's take out Thanos. But first impressions of the figure. The one thing that sold me on this figure was definitely the sculpting. When I saw the photos on Amazon, I'm like, if this is a bootleg figure, the sculpting and the details, it looks wonderful. All the lines are pretty hard and crisp. Nothing looks too soft or muddy. The one exception, though, is the eyes. Thanos here has very sad-looking eyes. But, that could probably be easily corrected with some paints. And then there's that hologram sticker I was talking about. So if you have any knowledge of this figure, please share it in the comments down below. I'd love to know the origin of this toy and if it's an official product or not. The one thing I noticed in the reviews for some of the other figures, for example, the Thor, some people were pretty critical of the build of the figures. They said the Thor figure kind of broke pretty easily. And immediately when I pull this out, the quality feels not on par with like a Hasbro figure. It definitely feels kind of bootleg. The material here isn't soft at all. It's a much rigid, harder plastic, maybe an ABS. Again, there's that weird face with the sad eyes, but the sculpting is nice, The armor looks great. It looks pretty accurate to the film model. And you'll notice double pinned elbows. Even the back is well done. There are some shortcuts in terms of the paint application. As you can see, they kind of failed to paint some of the armor pieces gold on the back. And then there's some overspray around the belt here also. Yeah, the materials does feel a little bit more on the cheaper side. And he has hollowed out feet. There's some writing in there. It says Marvel 2020, but again, that might not mean anything if this is a bootleg. And the height of the figure stands in at about 7¼ inches. For a size comparison, I have two Marvel Legends figures from the more recent waves. This is from the X-Men wave. We have Vulcan and we have Darwin. I like these figures a lot just because the style of Buck is, and it's nice to compare when I have other Marvel Legends figures. But this will give you an idea of the size next to the possibly bootlegged Thanos. So it's not an incredibly giant figure. It's pretty average in terms of its height. Let's examine the articulation, but carefully. I don't know how durable this is. If the tolerances are too tight, I don't want to force anything. His helmet, it's made of a softer plastic, but again, it feels like if I pull too hard, it might snap. And the helmet does not come off. The head does rotate. It does look up. And then it's on a ball joint. You can see it right there. It goes down. The arms, they move. Do they go outward? I don't think they do. If they do, I'm not going to force it. I can't tell. I don't believe they go outward. I think they just turn up and down. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. There is no bicep cut. The elbows are double jointed, so you could get a little bit more range of motion in it. There's no articulation in the wrists or in the torso or waist. There's no flex at all with the skirt piece. It doesn't bend. This is a hard plastic. You kick the leg up, it's immediately going to hit this. So the range of motion is already very hindered. The legs do kick out, but again, this is a very hard plastic for the side skirt. It's not going to go anywhere. Double jointed knees. And that's pretty much it. There's no ankle articulation. And let's get his cleaved blades in his hand. So yeah, it's in my opinion, it's a beautiful looking figure. The eyes are, it's probably like the worst point. It just makes them look kind of mopey. But I'm really impressed though with the sculpting. The quality of the material is kind of questionable. If this was a, a legit product produced, for example, by Hasbro, the materials here would be a lot different. So for me, I'm more likely to believe that this is probably some sort of like high-grade knockoff or bootleg product. It's definitely, I don't think, a third-party product at all. But, for me, it's pretty cool. I kind of dig this a lot. And it will have a place in my collection. I'm a big fan of the Avengers Infinity War and Endgame budget lines. They came out in tandem with the Marvel Legends series, but they're slightly shorter. I think they're more of a 5.5-inch scale action figure with limited articulation. If you go into my back catalog of videos, I kind of highlight a few of those figures. And for me, I think this Thanos will probably fall in line with, that collection of action figures I have. Definitely not in the standard MCU Marvel Legends, as that scale is a lot larger. So is this something you need? Possibly. If you're a fan of Thanos, and if you want a off-the-radar action figure, this might be it for you. The price point, I think, is kind of reasonable at like $22 on Amazon. But again, keep in mind, this may not be an official product. But I like the novelty of it. For me, it just seemed very interesting. I like the idea of getting a weird bootleg that just looked quality. So it's definitely an interesting piece, All right, with that being said, let's wrap this one up. Once again, my name is Lou. If you're new to my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I greatly appreciate it. So until the next video, be safe, take care of yourself, buy lots of toys, and most importantly, be happy. And I'll see you at the next one. All right, later.